What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. Yo, it is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive. I feel strong. You know what I'm saying? I feel ambitious. Guess what, y'all? So next week, if you in LA, I'm going to be hosting, you know what I'm saying, Rolling Loud. I'm going to be hosting that Rolling Loud again. I did it back in December, you know what I'm saying, that Rolling Loud Miami 10th year anniversary. I'm excited about doing this, you know what I'm saying? Not just because I'm getting paid, but I like being, you know what I'm saying, in the mix of media, you know what I'm saying? And putting my flag in the ground when it comes to what I'm doing. Y'all will see this year we are going up. This month is shaping up good so far. You know what I mean? It's shaping up good so far as like my personal goals. So if y'all haven't, I would just suggest this, right? If you got some personal goals, again, I'm in the month of Ramadan. I'm saying, and I just set a lot of personal goals for myself. Y'all don't have to fast along with me if you don't feel like it. But if you feel like setting some personal goals, getting that notepad on your phone. You know what I'm saying? You be on your phone all day. You're on your phone watching this, or you might got it plugged up to something, or even on your Mac or whatever you on, whatever device you decide to use, get in that notepad and start setting some goals. I think like during New Year's, we always set these New Year's resolutions, but we coming towards, the end of the first quarter of the year. So set some goals that you can attain, that you can get to before this month is out. All right. With that being said, we back talking about Drake. So, the petitions that Drake has put in for, the suit against Not Like Us, regarding UMG, regarding iHeart. I think these suits are starting to get, well, not suits, but these petitions are starting to get somewhere as far as closure. You know what I'm saying? As far as closure. So one of the petitions was dropped against iHeart. And of course, there is, these big conspiracy theories. Like, of course, they're going to say that he wasn't doing this, right? And then I want to start the dialogue and the conversation in the comment section, because I really want to know what y'all think about this, especially for the people that's, OVO fans and the purists, the Drake purists, the ones that want to be on the Anita Max tour. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know what y'all think, right? But shouts out to my sis, Lauren LaRosa. She reported, you know what I mean? She says, there are reports that Drake dropped iHeart from his legal petition in Texas over Not Like Us because of a private settlement. But here's what actually happened. So, when you see settlement, everybody, comes to the conclusion that, oh, some money must have been paid out, or, they fixed it because, they did it in private and all of that. Now, what Drake is alleging, or Drake is petitioning, is to see, the paperwork, to see if there was any payola involved when it came to Not Like Us, the biggest diss record of damn near all time, the one that calls him a pedo and all of that, right? So this is an official statement from iHeart, via iHeart. Drake dropped iHeart from their suit after we agreed to provide them emails showing that we are not engaged in any of the actions we were accused of, right? So I seen, selected streamers talking about, of course they're not going to show you if they're doing dirt, right? But if you asking, you ask, one thing you can't fake is emails, you know what I'm saying? That's why I remember when Hillary Clinton got caught up saying all that crazy shit in her emails and all that. You can't go back and delete nothing. Once you hit send, that's it. You either got to think about it or you got to say it in person. You can't, fake emails, you know what I'm saying? But she also goes on to say, give me 1 second to pull this up. To be clear on the iHeart statement, this is what Lauren is saying. To be clear on the iHeart statement, I obtained on a Drake Texas petition dismissal. Here's an update from iHeart. It says, in exchange for documents that show iHeart did nothing wrong, Drake agreed to drop his petition. No payments were made by either one of us. So now what, right? Okay, we already established, we've been established that the lawsuit was some bullshit. Okay, we got into the whole it's not hip hop thing. Then we got all of these people who fake like they give a damn when it comes to legal petitions, or they care about contracts and all of that. Just because your favorite rapper lost in the battle, we get all of these people who's faking like they give a damn. Now that they're saying there were no payments, this was dropped basically saying, yo, show me that shit, you know what I mean? Let me make sure that y'all ain't do nothing, no foul play or nothing like that. All right, here go all the email. Here goes everything. Now there's nothing. Is it still, right? Is it still this fucking crusade for artistry? Is it still this crusade to prove, you know what I mean, that you need to go up against the machine? Because I seen when I first, did that video talking about the whole lawsuit and all of that, I had all these people talking about some look at you siding with the white man. And then it became that, right? It became more about how people are siding with the corporations and we on the corporation side. Nah, like we just gonna call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? You get your ass kicked, you get your ass kicked. You feel me? And it was evident and it was nothing that could possibly be done for a nigga to even, to me, to allege that there was payola involved or that Kendrick Lamar, an artist who was of very high stature, needed, or UMG needed to get him popping in one of the biggest beefs of the century to pay people extra to play a record. Like, that just don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? That just don't make no sense. And I just want to know, again, to all of the people who got the owl hoodies on right now, you know what I mean? All of y'all niggas who got the owl hoodie on, all of y'all who's rocking heavy with the Party Next Door Drake album, which I ain't, you know what, I ain't gonna front. Let me keep it all the way 1,000. Let me keep it all the way 1,000 because everybody got this moral high ground when it comes to music now about what niggas could talk about, who they talking to, what they talking about, how you need to mature and be I type like Nokia. I type like Nokia. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day that we might do on stream, whatever. But I type like the record Nokia. But aside from that, where are all of the people who are wrong and strong right along with this nigga? You know what I mean? Who are wrong and strong, who stood by it. I mean, now that the dust is settled, the thing that Kendrick is going quiet again, right? He's going quiet again. The only time we're gonna hear from him next is when he's on tour with SZA. Like, we just know it. But also, the 1 year anniversary of, you know what I'm saying, We Don't Trust You is March 22nd, when Like That dropped and basically popped all this shit off, right? So I only think that going from here is gonna be 1 year anniversary breakdowns. Yo, it's good. This shit is never going to stop. Like, let's just keep it 1,000. Yes, it's tiring. It's tiresome. Like, you know what I mean? It just gets on your nerves to a certain extent because I think that like everybody's trying to get other people to see their point of view, which that's not never going to happen. But this is just something that's etched in history for the rest of the foreseeable future. And one thing I do want to talk about, because I'm in a group chat and we was talking about this in our group chat regarding content matter, right? Like substance and all these other things. Why I think that Drake did the corniest shit ever by filing a suit, complaining about the same things that benefited him at one point in time. I don't like the fact that like he's the only nigga that gotta grow up when it comes to music, right? This is not me defending him by no means. Cause again, it's mad shit that the nigga done that I don't agree with. But I don't like the fact that when it comes to picking and choosing, we get convenient amnesia. Everybody gets convenient amnesia about who we will accept what from. Jeezy Tomorrow, Big Snow Part 2, Trap or Die Part 8, whatever you like to call it. Jeezy talking about the trap again. Nobody is looking for Jeezy to grow up. Jeezy's almost 50 as well. And that's not no slight to him. That is an accomplishment. Jeezy plays golf. Jeezy ain't in the trap. Jeezy ain't fucking around with none of that no more. His kids ain't in the trap. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that like, while, we would like to point the finger at the one that we don't like the most, right? We like to point the finger and say, yo, Drake, yo, it's time for you to grow up, my nigga. You talking about girls who still live with their mothers. And that's that's another funny thing, right? Because again, we move the goalposts for when we see fit, because let's not act like we don't know some 30-year-old women that live with their mothers and men. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it 1,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that, like, I want to see everybody grow up in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I want to see people grow up in hip hop. And no, that don't mean I want to hear, you know what I'm saying, colonic bars. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to do that to the fullest extent, but I do want to hear your perspective about what's going on in the world. I think that that's what made Nas so special when he was young, because he had an outlook that people hadn't heard. You know what I'm saying? When he made a Illmatic, when he made a It Was Written, when he made a Nostradamus, which Nostradamus I hate that album, but because of the beats. But the content in it is extremely mature, and it's extremely at a space where he was trying to find like a new version of himself to be. You know what I'm saying? I do like the fact that we used to get that. But Kanye, where's the now this is another thing when it comes to Kanye, like the nigga running around with swastika shirts on. Listen, he's so far gone, pun intended. You know what I'm saying? He's out of here. We never gonna reel him back in, but like it's so crazy how people will accept what they accept from him. When we see a swastika is not something that only oppresses Jewish people. It oppresses black people as well. Most of the times when you see people who got swastikas on, they don't like niggas neither. Like, let's keep that in perspective. You know what I'm saying? So where's the level of maturity at the age that he is, at the level of artistry that he is, to make those type of records that we will want from him that are of substance? You know what I'm saying? That don't really exist no more. On Donda, there was peaks. There was like little peaks, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think we get that, you know what I mean, anymore, because everybody is crashing out or whatever the case may be. Now, there is a particular situation that I would like to speak about, and it involves a rapper from Texas, Lil Ronnie. Lil Ronnie his life was taken the other day, and not only was his life taken, but his 5-year-old daughter, her life was taken as well. For some context, let's watch this news clip, and then after that, let's have some serious dialogue. You feel me? And I would like for y'all to also talk about this and also with the stuff I just proposed as far as conversation when it comes to maturity. Let's watch this clip.
30-year-old man and his 5-year-old daughter were murdered at a car wash in the Fort Worth suburb of Forest Hill. At this point, it appears to be a targeted shooting, and police are looking for 2 gunmen. Dozens of evidence markers show where the gunfire erupted today at the car wash on I-20 at Forest Hill Drive. A 30-year-old rapper and his young daughter were both killed. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager is in Forest Hill with the update from police on their investigation. Peyton.
Steve and Heather, that first 911 call came in just before 11 a.m. this morning, and we did not receive an update from Forest Hill Police until just about an hour ago at 8 p.m. They now tell us police have identified at least one of the suspects and have issued a capital murder warrant. However, police are not releasing any of the names of the suspects. We know that 2 men, police say, opened fire on the victims. A witness who lives across the street from the car wash tells me she heard multiple rounds of gunfire.
Okay. First and foremost, I would like to go back to this idea that people have in their minds about women and children. No women, no children is a line from the movie Scarface. No women, no children is fiction. Women and children have been losing their lives in our communities, in our environments, for as long as I can remember, and I've been here for some time. I think about what J. Cole said on one of his records about on My Life, on Dirk's record, On My Life, when he was talking about, you know what I mean, I never even heard of Lil Buddy, you know what I mean? You can't, if you ain't talk about him then, you can't talk about him, you know, if you wasn't talking about him before. Me personally, I never heard of Lil Ronnie. You know what I'm saying? I maybe I'm not that tapped in. But seeing a black man lose his life to who I'm pretty sure was other black men. Seeing a 5-year-old girl who didn't have the opportunity to live. 5 years is such a short time. It truly broke my heart. It breaks my heart to have to talk about something like this, but I feel like I have to, regarding who I am and what I stand for and what I believe. There's this idea, you know what I mean? It's this idea, and I remember Wallow said it on Club Shay Shay. He said, revenge is king. We live in a world where revenge is king because people can't take a L. People can't, whatever, if it's any sort of disrespect, again, that idea, no women, no children, it's not real. Whomever did this They're fucking animals. And they deserve the worst possible outcome that they could have in their lives. I hear people say all the time, I wouldn't wish jail on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish jail on my worst enemy. Well, what would you wish on two animals that would gun a man down and a 5-year-old girl? What would you wish for them? Is it simply death? Is it that easy? I hate the fact that the situation that I'm currently talking about, I've seen happen in New York City numerous times. I've seen it happen in Chicago. I've seen it happen in Philadelphia. I've seen this happen all over. And while we steady trying to argue about who's the best or who does this the most, who got the biggest steppers and all that other bullshit that niggas is championing and pushing, where's the accountability amongst our community to grow, to get better, to change the mindset, to change the culture, so to speak? Where's the leaders? Where's the people who step up? Where's the protests? Where's all of the people who, had this been a police officer that took this man and this little girl's life, it would have been a surprising uproar. When do we start fighting against the bullshit? Because it's really bullshit. All the people who partake in this type of lifestyle, when you lose your person, whomever that might be, your stepper, your shooter, whatever you want to call them, you sitting there crying and sad and sobbing, talking about some, man, it ain't even have to go like that. But when somebody scores, know what I mean, y'all want to raise a banner. This shit is sad. It's disgusting. And I'm disgusted that my people could continuously do one another like this, knowing and having access to all that we know. This is not nobody doing this to our own but us. This is not nobody handing out this rule when it comes to the streets but us, making up all of this bullshit that don't matter, making up all these rules, making up all these codes, talking about how we stick to the code, talking about how we gotta stand tall and don't tell and all this other silly bullshit. And this is the result. And I don't see no uprising and no uproar for it. And unfortunately, this is not the first, this is not the middle, this is not the end, but I want better for us collectively. This is I Do It Myself. For y'all that rock with me, I appreciate y'all. For the ones that don't, eventually y'all will. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.